Hey millionaires, C Payne here, author of the Millionaire Marketing blog and CMO of GraphicDesignWars.com. Back to you again, back here again with the week 5 and week 6 recap. Again, bringing you guys into my world, letting you know what I'm doing on a weekly basis with my marketing so that I can turn this company into a multi-million dollar business. So these last 2 weeks were really about two primary things. The first, it was all about getting a better understanding of my customer. As I mentioned in the previous recap, I'm having a little bit of trouble finding customers, so I went back to the basics. I realized I needed to do more market research, so I did a bunch of stuff there and got some really valuable data that's helping us make some changes and ultimately will speed up the growth process. The second thing I've been doing is just putting good people around me. I'm a one-man show right now. Even though the site has over 350 designers, I need other people who are great at what they do to help me and to work with me. So I'm going to walk you guys down both of those strategies for the last 2 weeks. So let's go ahead and talk first about doing the market research. So as I just mentioned, we've had a little bit of trouble growing the company, not as fast as we'd like. So I went back to the basics and I said, I need to talk to potential customers. I need to find out why they make purchasing decisions, why they would or would not choose our service, and what I can do to, change it if there's any negative feedback or any reasons why someone wouldn't want to go with, GraphicDesignWars.com. So I did a few primary things. The first thing I did was I said, let me talk to the people who already know me and who are most likely to give me feedback. So I sent out an email. You guys know I love MailChimp. I love emailing my list of 2,000 people as frequently as possible, at least once a week. And, I put together a pretty passionate email essentially saying that we really need your help. We need you to give us good, honest feedback on why or why you wouldn't use our services. And I attached a SurveyMonkey link to that email, and I was hoping for really good feedback from everybody in that list, and I'll walk you through exactly the results I got there. The results were mixed. I was expecting a little bit stronger participation in the survey, but the responses I did get were reassuring and they did help me. So I'll show you guys that in a minute. The second thing I did was I talked to a buddy of mine, a new buddy of mine, John Dennison, and we bumped into each other at a social media event here in Miami. And he gave me the excellent advice of, you know, purging customers from my competitors, for lack of a better word. And I thought about it and I said, you know what, I could probably use that model and talk to some customers who are using my competitor and see why they made their decision to go with that competitor. What really compelled them to pull out their credit card and spend money with that competitor. So I went on Twitter and I tracked down everybody who was using one of our major competitors. Again, Twitter is the world's largest broadcast network. So anytime someone says something, anyone in the world can just do a simple search and find out what they're saying. So I typed in, the competitor's name, and I saw everyone who was talking about that competitor, and I just hit them up directly and said, "Hey, why did you decide to go with this competitor?" I tried to be as, uh, you know, I didn't want them to know that I was a business owner trying to get their business. So I just acted like I was a consumer and I wanted to know the information. And people got back to me with really good feedback, like, hey, I like the fact that there was a money back guarantee. I like this, I like that. So they gave me really valuable information on why they made a decision with the competitor. So that made me analyze my business and my marketing message to see, hey, am I explicitly telling people that yes, we will make you happy in these categories that you're already expecting? So, for instance, people alluded to liking the fact that there was a money back guarantee, so they felt safe. People liked all of the different um, feedback that they got from other people. So they'd heard about the competitor in the press, they've heard about them from their friends, so they felt safe in that regard. And they just liked the overall idea of being able to get multiple designs. So, it made me, focus on those three core benefits more when I talk to customers and in all of my marketing collateral. So those are really the two big things I did. I also went on LinkedIn and did a poll. I've written actually a blog article about exactly how to use polling on LinkedIn. It's essentially going into the groups that you're a part of or groups where your target customers are and polling them with a very simple question. And anyone who sees that poll, if they feel so compelled, they can just go in and vote, very quickly on your question. So you define a question, put five options, obviously five options that you're trying to decide between or see which was most popular. And then the people in that group, they vote on that. So I did that in a bunch of groups and I got more or less the same feedback. Um, so taking away all the feedback I got from Twitter, from LinkedIn, and from my email list, I see that as a company, we need to do a couple of things. One, we need to show more of our design work. People really, if they're going to buy design from us, they want to see what we've done in the past. So in your situation, whatever your business is, you want to make sure that potential customers see all of your work history as much as possible. Give them case studies, give them testimonials, give them anything that will make them feel comfortable that yes, you are an expert at what you do. And that's best achieved by showing them what you've done in the past. So that's the big takeaway that we got from the polling. So we need to show more design examples on the site. And also we need to, reassure people that this is a safe process. So again, testimonials, money back guarantees, those type of things make people feel comfortable spending money. So those are really the two big things that I got out of these 2 weeks. Naturally, I was doing all of my regular marketing things as well, hitting up the phones, calling printers for partnerships, just tweeting people who said they needed designs on Twitter, sending out my emails regularly. I was doing all of my normal marketing routines, but this is a key staple of the last 2 weeks, weeks 5 and week 6. The other thing, as I mentioned, was putting really valuable people around me. So I'm in the market for a new web developer. So I knew it was important for me to go out and find someone really good who can help me build my business strategically and not someone who's just going to be there for the short run. So as a part of that, I actually spent some time online looking at a multitude of different places trying to find the perfect web developer. And I looked in three primary places. I looked on web forums, essentially places where guys who love programming, gals who love programming, they just hang out and they talk shop. I spent a lot of time there. I also spent time on Twitter. I love Twitter. I'm having a love affair with Twitter these days. I'm on Twitter looking for people who seem knowledgeable in what they're doing. And I also hit up some of these really large online marketplaces like elance.com and vworker.com. And you can look in the description below for information on Elance or vworker because those are really, really great sites to hire someone at an affordable price. And I wrote a blog article about it too. So I ended up searching all of these different places looking for web developers, and I got about 6 or 7 qualified people contacting me. So I'm in the process of qualifying who is the best fit for me and how can we work together strategically for the long term. So that's ongoing. Another thing I did, gotta love this, is I picked up an intern. So I have a wonderful, wonderful high school intern who's exceptionally business savvy for her age. Her name is Melinda, and she goes to the local high school here. And she's, I would say, 10 years ahead of where I was at her age in terms of knowing about business, how to make money and managing money. She's really been a good asset, and she's helping me with my social media stuff and even with setting up some other things that I have in the works. So I managed to get in touch with her through networking. But I also put out the casting call for an intern on internships.com. So if you're looking for an extra set of hands, internships.com is great, particularly in the summer when all the college kids and high school kids are out and they're just looking to gain experience. They can help you in so many different ways. Internships.com, go there. You'll get free help. This is an unpaid position for Melinda, but I'm giving her all of my marketing knowledge, and I'm sure she's going to appreciate that. And she's getting great real-world experience. So in terms of putting people around me, like I said, I don't have the budget to hire a full-time employee or even a part-time employee. I can pay for, one-off projects and I can pay for fixed-price jobs, but I just can't keep somebody on my payroll right now. So I went to sites like elance.com, I went to vworker.com, and I searched for people who had the services or had the experience that I needed. And I had a lot of options, and I narrowed it down to just a few here, and I'm going to be making a decision very soon. One thing to keep in mind if you're managing anyone, whether it's an intern or a copywriter or someone who's helping you with your HR, just a personal assistant, whoever you're managing, one little trick I picked up is keeping a daily activity report. And essentially, in that daily activity report, you want to tell whoever you're managing, whoever you're paying to do a service for you, to go in every day, spend 5 minutes, and write down what they did for the day. And I've come up with a 4-question system. I actually got this from another entrepreneur. I can't think of his name right now. But essentially, the 4-question um, report that you want them to fill out every day is: 1, how many hours did you work? 2, what did you accomplish today? 3, what challenges did you face today? And 4, what questions do you have for me, or what can I answer or help you at? So that quick report gives you a snapshot of what was done for the day and how you can potentially get more done in the future by answering questions and addressing challenges. So that's a really, really good tip I picked up. And what we do is we just share a Google spreadsheet. I don't know if you guys have heard of Google Docs, but it's a free um, cloud-based software which allows you to store and share documents. And we just created an Excel spreadsheet, put it on Google Docs, and now every day Melinda can go in and update what she's done. I can see that by logging in from my end. We don't have to email back and forth. And I'm going to use the same thing for my web developers. So um, managing anyone that's not in-house can be a challenge, but with that simple system, I think it'll be helpful. Um, I'm going to write a blog post about that, and if I do, I'll put it in the information section below. So that's what I did again for the last 2 weeks. I focused on market research, actually going out and talking to real customers about what their expectations are, their desires, their fears, their hang-ups, their pet peeves. I went out there and had real conversations with people who could potentially spend money with me so that I can address their needs better. The second thing I did was I spent time putting the right people around me. I got an intern so that I can focus on growing the business and not get bogged down in some of the repetitive tasks. And I'm also hiring a web developer so that I can accelerate my growth because I am a web-based business. So hope you found this helpful. Weeks 5 and 6, I believe this is, went great, still growing. We've got more designers on the site, so things are going well. So now I'll show you really briefly what I did on SurveyMonkey and in MailChimp. Here is the email that I sent out. Again, I did market research by sending an email to my contact list of 2,000 people, asking them to just give us some honest feedback on what they thought about our company and whether or not they use our services. So here's the email. I set it up in MailChimp. As you can see, the formatting here is a mobile-friendly format. That's why it's so thin in the middle. And I use this because so many people are checking emails from smartphones, so this actually renders really well on iPhones and Android platforms and any other smartphone device. So the way I set it up was essentially I tried to really inspire people to give us feedback. So I wrote about about this survey that had been conducted, which essentially said that leaders tend to help other people. That's the gist of the story. And I put in some statistics on why it's important to help other people in need. Really trying to provoke people to take the survey. Looking back on it, I think it was a little manipulative. I could have been more straightforward and just said, hey, we really need your feedback. Take a couple of seconds to fill out the survey. I think that would have gotten higher results because I got 9 responses out of sending this to 1,900 people. It's not a very high response rate, so I probably won't try that again. But let's take a look at the survey itself. So if I click here, they go directly to the survey, which is here, and you can see the questions. I wanted to keep it short. A total of 5 questions. Do you own a business? Which items have you paid for in the past? Again, we're a graphic design service, so that's important. What would you not pay for? And the money question is, would you use our services if you had a need for graphic design, and why? So it's a very quick, easy survey, multiple choice in most places, and one section to fill out some comments. So let's look at the results. So again, here's the open rate, sending it to roughly 1,900 people or 1,800 people. 16% opened, 1% clicked. That's about 18 people and 9 people taking the survey. Not terrible, but certainly not what I was expecting. And here are the responses. Half the people who responded own a business. What I found out in terms of what they would and wouldn't get designed is I found out that if you own a business, you're going to need a logo, business cards, some sort of marketing collateral, and a web page. That was pretty consistent. And what I also found out is that nobody really wants to pay for custom Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook backgrounds. So I thought that was going to be revolutionary for us, but people really don't want to pay for that. And the last thing here, which is really what I was hoping for, was reassuring. 66% of people who responded said they would use our services. I can't trust that data too much because, again, I'm sending it to a contact list of people who know me. So maybe that's kind of a biased response there. But one comment I received that really got me going on another strategy was that, they like to use us had they seen more of our previous design work. So that's something that we took and ran with right away, and we're actually making changes to the website to accommodate that. So that's the SurveyMonkey survey that we sent out. I really encourage anybody who's not sure about whether their service is resonating with potential customers or their products are resonating, or if they're really just trying to decide what's best, what do people like most, what do they hate most. Use SurveyMonkey. It's free, surveymonkey.com. You can set up a survey and just blast it out to your email list. All right. Thanks for watching.